on self-exams and preventing skin cancer. So I was diagnosed with skin cancer when I was 22 years old, melanoma in situ. And the spot that was melanoma, I actually noticed in the mirror. So some background, I was growing up, my dad's side of the family had melanoma, my dad's dad, and then my mom's dad had basal cell carcinoma. And so my doctors diagnosed me as 100% chance of having skin cancer, especially since I was a swimmer, swam at an outdoor pool, played water polo at an outdoor pool. It took swim lessons at one point. I worked as a lifeguard. I taught swim lessons outdoor. I was in the sun a lot. So they were like, be very cautious. We recommend seeing a dermatologist. So people go in for a dermatologist because they have a spot on their skin or something. I go in for what are called exams, an annual exam, and they have me strip down and they look over my whole body, and including they'll like pull my bra forward and inspect my boobies and my booty, which is always awkward. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but as such, it's kind of left me, well, what can I do? I feel uncomfortable, and it's nice that somebody else inspects me, but doctors can miss things. What can I do? And so one of the things, fortunately, I'm a millennial, and we are known as the do-it-yourself generation. And skin cancer is, like, oddly enough, like preventing getting skin cancer or catching it early on, which is what I did. So in a sense, preventing the cancer from escalating and killing me. Speaking from experience, doctors will kind of tell, or speaking from experience, they told me what to look for. And they told me, look for the edges, for the size, look for if it's elevated, look for multiple colors, look for if they appear in clusters. Is it new? Is it bigger? Has it shrunk? That kind of stuff. Just to assess my body. And so what I do and started doing, and I think I had difficulty when I was a teenager in doing it, because it's kind of like hard to be like, well, what if something is wrong? But I got this one on my back when I was living in Hawaii, and I saw it and it was getting bigger and it was like itchy and inflamed around the outside, and it kind of just hurt sometimes. And I was like, I had kind of fallen off with physicals at the doctor, and I was like, I'm not falling off on this. This is bad and I need to face it. And I went in, and sure enough, it was cancer, and it was too big to be cut out at the dermatologist office. I actually had to go get plastic. I had a plastic surgeon operate. I got the closest thing I've ever gotten to anesthesia. I had to take my clothes off, put it in a bag, put it in the locker, like clothes were retrieved afterwards, put on a gown. It was a, kind of the biggest steel surgery I've ever had. And they got all the cancer out, and I was reminded that when I went in, like, they don't know until they cut it out whether it's spread or not. And it had not spread, and I got it cut out in time. And they were able to extract all of the cancer. And so it was a success story. I've made a video talking about this in the past and made and published in January 2021. So I'll link to that in the video description, where I talk through that, being diagnosed at 22 years of age with cancer and being like, what do I do? Which for me was a kind of, with 100% label from doctors, I was kind of like, so essentially I'll be dead by I'm 20. So for me, it's been kind of like, now what do I do with my life? Kind of thing. And so the last doctor I went in and saw, she was really good. She even gave, I think I got like a piece of something with like different things to look for. And currently I do self-exams, I would say maybe on average once every 4 days. I'll look over my body and see if there's anything new or anything concerning based on kind of what I've learned from the dermatologist over the years. And so I very much recommend it. It's something, as a do-it-yourselfer, there's a little bit of, it kind of helps and helped me fight through having cancer. It was like, no, I'm going to face this and I'm going to fight this before it spreads or anything like that. Because there's a bit of, I can check myself. I'm not 100% reliant on the doctor for catching it. And so I think on that, in that sense, it made it, it's really difficult. It was really difficult at the beginning, but it became easier over time. And now I've routinized it. It's still, especially the, like, oh my gosh, I've actually had cancer, kind of, it still lingers a bit. But I recommend self-exams. I also recommend being hopeful, but not delusional. So delusional in the sense of hope is immune to cancer. No, I mean, I was, you know, told I had a 100% chance of getting skin cancer when I was like 10 years old. And I was like, I hope I don't get it, you know, but I'm also going to take steps to, and I'm going to take steps to make sure I don't get it. And that didn't work, but it did work in catching it before it was too late. So mine is, hope is not immune to cancer, speaking from experience. I would recommend taking steps to not get cancer if one can, but also there's a preventative part of getting cancer, of preventing it from getting worse. And I think that's really underestimated. The power of oneself, especially in skin cancer, that one can fight it and be like, speaking from experience, maybe I have it, but can I eradicate it? Can I get rid of it now before it's too late? And so I've done that. So that was a big life victory. And so I actually do recommend self-exams, especially if one has something they're concerned about and they don't know what to do when they go into the doctor. Look over one's body. Is there another spot one's concerned about? Describe it. Maybe write down some descriptors and go into the doctor for the first time and be like, this one concerns me. Don't be afraid to say that. I've had stuff where I had one doctor, I went in and we got one cut off and they were like, I'm happy you said that because I wouldn't have chosen to biopsy that one. Because there's the going in, getting it checked out. Once it's tagged as an area of concern, they biopsy it. And then if it's cancerous, the rest of it needs to be removed. So I've gone through that a number of times, the biopsies and removals. So I do recommend self-exams. They help in my fight. I've found they help make it, it's a confidence builder of, I can face what I'm dealing with and I can see for myself and be like, I need this. I think this is concern. And then the times where like I actually get melanoma and I was like, yeah, I thought that one was of concern. I made it in time. So I guess my emphasis here is, even if it doesn't prevent cancer, it can help catch it before it's too late or before it spreads. So I 2 thumbs up. Autonomy, I support autonomy. And in my experience, 100% of the skin doctors or dermatologists or plastic surgeons I've interacted with concerning my skin have been supporters of autonomy in the form of self-exams. They still recommend coming in. Need to get the doctor to check it out. But also, it's kind of a unique area in the medical industry where the emphasis on a person being capable of inspecting themselves has not been lost. So, happy day.